6:48, time now for the morning rush. Two wildfires are forcing evacuations for the entire village of Ruidoso. At last check, the South Fork fire has burned more than 5,000 acres just a few miles outside of Ruidoso within the Mescalero Apache Reservation and Lincoln National Forest. The village of Ruidoso remains under mandatory evacuations this morning. Right now, highways 48 and 70 remain closed. Evacuation centers are being set up on the NMU Roswell campus.
Some residents of one northeast Albuquerque neighborhood are saying that a man is wandering their streets and causing trouble. Security cameras near Wyoming and Indian School, they have shown the same man return to the area several times. Neighbors say that his concerning behaviors escalated to late-night door knocks, stealing mail, and attempted break-ins. One neighbor says that he called APD but has not had the chance to speak with an officer just yet.
The trial against the first New Mexico parent to be charged under Benny's Law is underway this morning. 39-year-old William Brown is charged with negligently making a firearm accessible to a minor. His son Porfirio Brown is accused of shooting and killing a 13-year-old girl at his Cuesta home last year. Erica.
And here's a look at our hourly forecast for your morning commute, climbing from the mid-60s back into the mid-80s by noon with mostly sunny skies.
Albuquerque city councilors are now considering adding multiple items to November's general election ballot that would change the city's charter. Well, those proposals would lower the threshold to 40% to elect a mayor or city councilor, making it less likely that a runoff election would be necessary, as well as giving the city council the power to remove the chief of police or the fire chief with a 2/3 majority vote.
New Mexico's Attorney General is now praising the U.S. Surgeon General as he calls on all social media sites to post a warning label for kids. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy said social media is a contributing factor to mental health issues among young people, going on to say he wants sites to add warning labels similar to the ones put on cigarette boxes. Erica.
And here's a look at our threat index. It is moderate today as we'll be seeing more dangerous heat across southern New Mexico and high fire danger across the state.
One of Albuquerque's oldest pools is now set to receive some major upgrades. The city says the Montgomery pool was built back in the 1960s. Now they're looking to move the pool's entrance to the north side, create more areas for families, and add another support building. The Environmental Planning Commission has to approve the plans. The city is still working on funding.
Balloon Fiesta is just over 100 days away, and the city of Albuquerque is now making some much-needed upgrades at Balloon Fiesta Park. Those are expected to cost around nearly $6 million and will put in bathrooms, electrical upgrades, along with Wi-Fi. Well, the city expects the electrical work to be done before Balloon Fiesta, as with everything else, being completed by the end of the year. Erica.
Are clear, no major slowdowns or accidents to mention. And here's a look at the Big Eye cam. Everything seems to be moving slowly or smoothly. A little bit of slowdowns as you approach the Big Eye east on I-40.
A kangaroo family in Florida is welcoming a new addition to its family. Evie is a 9-month-old red kangaroo joey at the North Florida Wildlife Center, who's already standing out for her deep red color. Well, Evie's fur tint is unusual for female, as male joeys are typically darker in color. The NFWC is hoping to open an Australia walkthrough exhibit later on this year.
Time now for the 5 facts.
At number 5, Balloon Fiesta is just over 100 days away, and the city of Albuquerque is now making some much-needed upgrades. That's at Balloon Fiesta Park. Well, those upgrades are expected to cost nearly $6 million and will put in permanent bathrooms, electrical upgrades, and Wi-Fi. The city expects the electrical upgrades to be done before Balloon Fiesta, with everything else being completed by the end of the year.
At number 4, Albuquerque city councilors are now considering adding multiple items to November's general election ballot to change the city's charter. One of the proposals would lower the percentage of votes a candidate needs to win a city election from 50 to 40. Councilors are also considering proposals that would give the council the power to remove the chief of police or the fire chief with a 2/3 majority vote. Both of those proposals were passed in the council last night. The council has to hear the proposals one last time, then the mayor has to sign off on them before they can go to the voters.
And at number 3, it's going to be staying very hot today with those temperatures climbing back into the 80s, 90s, and 100s across the state. We'll see one more day of this heat before a cool down arrives.
And number 2, some residents of one northeast Albuquerque neighborhood are concerned this morning, saying a man is wandering their streets and causing trouble. Security cameras near Wyoming and Indian School have shown the same man return to the area several times. Neighbors say his concerning behaviors are started with dancing in a pile of trash to late-night door knocks, stealing mail, and attempted break-ins. They also believe the unknown man had a drug pipe in his hand. Some neighbors say nearby gas stations could be attracting some of the homeless in the area.
And at number 1 this morning, the village of Ruidoso remains under evacuation orders. That's with threats of 2 wildfires continuing to burn nearby. Now, according to NM Fire Info, multiple structures are under threat and an unknown number have been lost. Last check, the South Fork fire has burned more than 5,200 acres and evacuation centers on the campus. That's of Eastern New Mexico University in Roswell. People evacuating with livestock and RVs, they are asked to head to ENMU's State Fairgrounds, also in Roswell. Now we have an updated list of the evacuation centers, and you'll find them at krqe.com.